Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Emily, and I'm going to be walking you through some of our expenses from the last week since the last time I checked in with you guys. And then I did get paid today, so I will be budgeting my paycheck with you. I have to admit, this was a really rough week, not from a financial standpoint. And fortunately, in spite of us kind of struggling, we didn't do anything extreme with our finances. But if I'm being totally honest, I'm just not a patient person. And so there was a lot of things that weren't going my way and some general frustrations at work. We were both very busy with work this week, and so Trent and I have only seen each other in passing, and so that just made for a long week. A couple things to share with you guys. We have not been paid this bonus check yet. Um, I'm going to stop guessing on when we're going to receive it because it seems like it just keeps getting pushed back. Um, when we do receive that, all we're going to do is pay off this Chase credit card and then use any remaining funds to continue building our month ahead. Another thing is our internet. They did not end up working with us and they did charge us the full 579. So we did pay that. It has come out of our checking account. Another thing is that actually hadn't mentioned this to you guys, but next month was supposed to be a 3 paycheck month for me. And my work announced that they are going to use this opportunity to get off of a current pay cycle into a week behind pay cycle. Basically, the way it works right now is on the Friday we get paid, they count that Friday's hours as hours worked, and then they reconcile in the next pay period if, like, say you took that Friday off or you had a short or long day. In the long run, it's probably a good change, but because of them switching in the month of October, I was supposed to get an extra full paycheck, and the way that it works out, I'll only end up getting an extra half paycheck. The first payday in October will be just the regular pay period that we've been used to. The second paycheck in October will be for only 1 week. And then the third paycheck in October will be the 2 weeks following that, which will put us basically a week behind in our payroll. So while I was initially really excited to have a 3 paycheck month and use the extra paycheck to continue getting us a month ahead and continue funding us towards these goals that we're trying to reach, that is not going to happen in the month of October. And I think our next 3 paycheck month, I want to say, is in January, but it could be like April. I'm not remembering off the top of my head. Aside from that, I'll just go ahead and walk through what we have done since the last time I checked in with you guys. Our credit card payments have come out on both of the credit cards. It was $86 for Trent's credit card minimum payment and $35 for mine. And then we are expecting a charge to come through on this for interest. That'll be probably about $60, but it takes a couple days to hit the account. So when that comes, we will pay it, and I'm also going to budget for it with this paycheck. Other than that, our phone bill has been auto drafted. The kids' 529s has been drafted. Electricity and internet have both been drafted from our account. Groceries, we ended up stopping for milk and pork chops one night. We had forgotten to take anything out of the freezer for dinner, and so we just stopped and picked up something that was already thawed. Fuel and auto maintenance. This is another reason why this week was kind of rough. Um, our car has been having trouble starting. We think the battery is going out. So, especially going into winter, we ended up buying a portable car battery charger so that we can just hook the car up and get the battery charged if we ever have a hard time starting it. And then somebody backed into our car this week and broke out the tail light. So we also had to purchase a tail light replacement. So that is why our fuel category is so high right now. If you look at our reports, we generally spend about 200 a month, and we're already over 200 for fuel. So continuing on, Microsoft Office monthly subscription and iTunes have both auto drafted. I did add in a category for our Nintendo Switch. Trent and I are going to do the family plan where it's $34.99 a year for both of us total. So we'll pay that next month. So I put it in here. And then in the following months, we'll just plan on budgeting per month so that that'll be on an auto savings plan. Miscellaneous software. Trent bought some Pokemon coins, and I asked him if he could please start doing that on his personal spending so that it doesn't hit our budget, and he said that was fine. I did buy the kids' Halloween costumes, which was $43. Remy is going to be Minnie Mouse, and Wesley is going to be a stormtrooper. Technology replacement. When I created this line item, I actually didn't have any planned spending in here, but my camera battery went missing, and so I had to purchase a replacement camera battery. And I already had $100 budgeted in here, so I just moved $20 over in order to fund this category. And then we have not eaten out again since Trent's birthday, which was on the 6th. So we're doing really good in that category this month, which is exciting to see. I did add a couple of expenses into the month of September. I'm almost out of face wash, so I put face wash into the budget. $59. It's not a cheap face wash, but this $59 size is, I think, like a liter of it, so it ends up being a better deal in the long run. Now that we have gone through that, I think we just need to enter my paycheck and start budgeting. Enter and clear. I made $2,312 with this paycheck. So I should be able to just click under funded on everything, and that will cover planned expenses. Oops. Okay, so underfunded left now is 0, so that means everything in the month of September should be budgeted out. One change I did make is this unexpected expenses category. I use this as a minimum account balance, basically. Another way that I've heard people describe this is as their buffer or their margin. My goal is to keep this full 200 in this line item, but if there is something that comes up that's unplanned for, unexpected, we can certainly use that money, but the goal is to keep it in there. And then during the week, I keep this line just closed so I can't see any of these categories that are building up. It's never really been an issue, but if I kind of just pretend that those aren't there, I feel broke, which means that I'm less likely to spend money. I have to say, ever since starting these videos, I have felt very YNAB broke. And I think it's because I'm like developing a new habit and a new discipline with my budget that I didn't have before. And I've also been very stressed. Again, I think because I'm developing a new habit and change can be hard, but it's a good thing. And I know actually when I first started YNAB, before I had been using an Excel spreadsheet, and actually I was really proud of my Excel spreadsheet and thought it was like the most inventive thing ever. But I realized it just wasn't working. I always felt like I couldn't get on top of things. And now looking back, I can see it was because realistically I was just tracking expenses. I wasn't planning for future expenses. Um, it actually kind of looked like this ledger where I had all of my upcoming planned expenses laid out with a running balance on the side, and I could enter our upcoming paychecks and kind of see where our account balance would be. The problem with that is if in this line of planned expenses, if I hadn't put eating out in there somewhere or other unexpected things that come up, and a budget is like a living, breathing thing, and it changes constantly from even week to week, even day to day. So if I had one thing get thrown in there that wasn't planned for, all of these numbers would change, and eventually I would hit a point where I was at balance zero. And when I saw that happen, it would be that like panic of, well, we have to earn more money or cut our expenses more. And honestly, it was very restrictive. When I switched to YNAB, I basically promised myself that I would use YNAB alongside my Excel spreadsheet for 3 straight months. And no matter what, I would keep both of them updated because honestly, I didn't really trust YNAB to keep track the way I knew how. And it doesn't keep track the way I knew how because the way I knew how wasn't working. And so once I did that, all it took was 1 month, probably less than that. I actually just completely stopped using my Excel spreadsheet and solely went to YNAB. And those first 3 weeks, I was so stressed out. It was unbelievable. My anxiety was just out of control because I was learning a new habit. Like it was a new way of living, basically. And in the long run, it's been one of the best decisions we ever made. But at the time, it was just very stressful. Okay, so the month of September is fully funded. Hoping I don't have to wham too much stuff around. I'm going to go ahead and actually add 125 to this category because we have a insurance policy that we're going to be establishing for life flight in case anything happens with my pregnancy and they have to life flight me to Anchorage. If anybody is new, welcome to my channel, but I live in a rural Alaskan village where we don't have an OBGYN at our hospital. So if I were to go into labor or anything else really related to my pregnancy happened, they would life flight me to Anchorage. So, anyways, we're going to be getting life flight insurance. So, I want to add that in because I want to have this build up. And that is definitely one area that I want to see grow quickly. Let me just briefly look through and see if there was anything else like that that I wanted to do. This 57, that's actually our credit card interest that I mentioned. It's an estimate. That's what it was last month. It'll probably be similar to that. Okay, so moving into October, I'm going to go ahead and put half of our rent in, and then I'll go ahead and fund that term life. Going down to software, I'm going to go ahead and underfunded that and then make sure that we catch those that are already funded. Holiday fund. Oh, PSA, don't forget to purchase your Halloween candy next month, especially if you live in rural Alaska. We're buying it off of Amazon, and actually I got it put on my subscribe and save that I'll just leave there for 1 month because I got 15% off that way. Okay, so I funded our monthly bills through the 7th. Our next bill doesn't hit after that until the 15th, but we do have our Amazon subscribe and save items that come the week before that. So I'm going to do those first. They'll fall in health, hygiene, and beauty. Oh, I have to do these one at a time. So I'll go budget for upcoming, and that will be good for that one. Budget for upcoming. We'll skip fuel and auto for a moment. Budget for upcoming. And 624 left. I'll go ahead and just throw that in our rent. Okay, that should do it. Like I've been saying, if we ever get this extra kind of bonus check, I will jump on and budget that out with you guys. I'm getting really antsy to get this credit card paid off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.